Hello, my dear learners. Welcome back to the JISH Learn English Podcast. I'm Shaylin, and I'm so happy you're here. Today's topic is something we all need in our day-to-day life: how to ask someone for permission in English. But before we start, take a moment to like this video if you find the lesson helpful, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please feel free to comment below. I love hearing your feedback, your suggestions, or anything you'd like to share with me. Now, let's first understand what permission really means. When you want to do something, but you're not sure if it's okay, you ask someone for permission. In simple words, you are checking, is it okay if I do this? For example, when you are at the office and need to leave early because of an emergency, you can't just walk away. You must ask your manager. Or if you want to borrow something, like someone's charger or pen, it's polite and respectful to ask. If you take it without asking, well, that would be stealing, right? So we ask first, and that's called asking for permission. In English, there are three main ways we usually ask for permission: can I, could I, may I. We also have some polite sentence structures using if, like, is it okay if I? Would it be all right if I? Do you mind if I? Don't worry, I'll guide you through all of these, step by step. But before we dive into the details of how and when to use each one, I want you to get a feel for real situations where people ask permission naturally. This will help you connect better with the topic and understand how native speakers use these expressions. And later, we'll also do some shadowing practice, where you repeat after me and speak aloud to make your English smooth and confident. So, let's begin.
Excuse me, sir. May I go to the restroom?
The class just started. Can you wait 5 more minutes?
I'll try, but it's kind of urgent.
All right. You can go, but please come back quickly.
Thank you. I'll be fast.
Good morning, ma'am. Could I leave work a little early today?
Is something wrong?
There's a personal emergency at home. My tasks for today are complete.
All right. Thanks for letting me know. You may leave at 4 p.m.
Thank you. I really appreciate your understanding.
Hey, your home is beautiful. Can I sit on the balcony for a bit?
Of course. It's lovely in the evening.
It looks so peaceful out there.
Would you like some tea while you enjoy the view?
Yes, please. That sounds perfect.
Did you pay attention to the way those red texts stood out in the conversations you just heard? Phrases like can I, could I, and may I appeared again and again. Even if you didn't fully understand them while listening, I hope you now have a rough idea, and maybe you can already picture in your mind what I'm about to explain to you. Today, we're going to break down exactly how these phrases work in English when we want to ask for permission. You'll also learn some other polite ways to ask for permission using if structures. And by the end of this, you'll not only understand the grammar, but also feel confident enough to use them in your own life. Let's start with the simplest and most common way. Can I? This is the structure we use in our everyday lives, especially in informal situations. The sentence goes like this: can I followed by the action you want to do. For example, can I borrow your pen? Or can I open the window? Now, even though can is often known for showing ability, like, can you swim? When we use it like this, we're not talking about ability, we're asking for permission. This form is perfectly fine when you're speaking to a friend, a classmate, or someone you know well. Now, let's move to could I. This is a little more polite than can I, even though it also uses a similar structure. Could is technically the past form of can, but here it's not really about time. It's about softness and politeness. It sounds less direct, more respectful, and more gentle. For example, could I take a break now? Or could I use your phone for a minute? This form is especially good when you're speaking to someone you don't know well, like a receptionist, a customer service person, or a colleague in a more formal tone. And now, let's talk about may I. This is the most polite and formal of the three. The structure is the same, may I, followed by the action, like, may I come in? Or, may I speak with you for a moment? This form is often used in schools, in professional environments, or in situations where we want to show high respect, like speaking to a teacher, a manager, or someone older than us. It might sound a bit traditional, but it's still used in many formal or respectful conversations even today.
Now, here's something else. Did you know we can also ask for permission using if in the sentence? These forms are a bit more indirect and very polite. For example, you might say, is it okay if I sit here? Or, do you mind if I use your charger? These questions still ask for permission, but they sound more thoughtful and careful. When you want to be especially polite, you might hear people say, would it be okay if I came a little late? Or, would you mind if I left early today? Even though the grammar changes slightly, they all serve the same purpose. You're asking for permission, but in a softer, more considerate way. So now you've learned all the ways we ask for permission in English. Can I is casual and direct. Could I is more polite and soft. May I is formal and respectful. And those if structures like, do you mind if I, or is it okay if I, give you even more ways to ask permission gently and respectfully. The key to choosing the right one is knowing who you're talking to, where you are, and how polite you need to be. If you keep that in mind, you'll always know which one to use, naturally and correctly. Now, let's practice some sentences together. I'll say a sentence, and then I want you to repeat it after me. Try to match the way I say it, the tone, the rhythm, and the pauses. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let's start with some sentences using can I. Keep in mind, we usually use can I when we're talking to someone we know well, like a friend, family member, or close colleague. It's less polite than could I or may I, but still very common in casual conversation. Let's now practice some together. Repeat after me. Can I borrow your charger?
Pause and repeat. Can I use your shampoo? Can I take a look at your notes? Can I keep the window open tonight? Can I use your stapler for a second? Can I play on your tablet for a while? Can I have the last slice of pizza? Can I sit here with you? Well done. Now, let's practice some sentences with could I? Pay attention. We usually use could I when speaking to someone we don't know very well, or when we want to sound a little more polite or formal. It's more polite than can I, but not as formal as may I. Now, practice these sentences with me. In a bookstore, asking the cashier politely, could I get a paper bag, please? Talking to your manager at work, could I take the afternoon off tomorrow? To a hotel receptionist, could I have an extra towel, please? To a librarian, in a quiet tone, could I renew this book for one more week? To a receptionist at a clinic, could I reschedule my appointment? Asking a shop assistant, could I try this in a different size? To a new neighbor, could I park here just for a few minutes? Good job so far. Let's now practice some sentences with may I? As we discussed earlier, may I is used in formal situations or when you want to be especially polite and respectful. Practice these sentences with me. In class, asking your teacher politely, may I ask a question? At a formal dinner, speaking to the host, may I have a glass of water? Standing at your professor's office door, may I come in? During a business meeting, may I share my thoughts on this? To your senior colleague, may I speak with you for a moment? Calling customer support, may I speak to the billing department, please? Before entering someone's house, may I come inside? Well done! Can I, could I, and may I all done. But our lesson isn't over just yet. Let's keep up the same energy because we have one more useful way to ask for permission in English. That is by using the if structure. We use this structure to be polite and indirect, and you'll often hear it in real-life English. Let's practice some sentences together. You're at a friend's house and want to use the bathroom. Is it all right if I use your restroom? In a meeting, checking before stepping out. Would it be all right if I stepped out for just a minute? You're calling someone and asking to speak with them. Is it okay if I talk to you now? At a family gathering, asking to leave early. Would you mind if I left a bit early today? You want to borrow someone's pen politely. Would it be okay if I used your pen? And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We learned how to ask for permission in English using 4 main ways. Can I? For casual situations with people we know well. Could I? For slightly more polite or respectful situations. May I? When we want to be formal or especially polite. And if structures, like would it be okay if, or is it all right if, to sound gentle and indirect. I hope you noticed how tone, politeness, and the relationship with the other person can change the way we ask for permission. Remember, it's not just about grammar. It's about being thoughtful, respectful, and aware of the situation you're in. If you keep practicing, these expressions will become natural for you. And the next time you need to ask for permission, you'll know exactly how to do it, just like a native speaker. Take a moment to review, go back and shadow the sentences again if you like. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the podcast, and share it with your friends. It really gives me encouragement and motivation to keep bringing you helpful lessons like this. That's all for today. This is Shaylin, and you're listening to the JISH Learn English Podcast. Until next time, stay confident, keep practicing, and speak with kindness. Bye for now.